Welcome back to my channel, Nature and Nurture. If this is your first time here, hey, pleased to meet you. Jump right in, say hello, give a like, all that good stuff, and you can consider subscribing maybe by the end of this video. So it's been a while since I've been with you, and you know, stuff comes up, stuff gets hard, it's a struggle. Sometimes it's not. And today we are going to be actually talking about some kind of struggle plants. So today we are doing a lot of rehab projects. I have some beautiful plants that have gone south recently, which is it's interesting. It's just interesting. There's apparently something that maybe it's either my water or the soil. I think those are my two biggest suspects that I am suspecting that are messing up a lot of my plants. So this guy right here was kind of on the decline, and then what did I do? I think I just moved this one. I don't know. In the past, I've been perfectly great with alocasia. This dragon scale just took a left turn and not quite sure why, but today what we're going to do is take a look at its roots and see if we can assess the situation. We might repot it. Yeah, that's it. So we'll figure out what's going on with this guy. That's plant number one. Plant number two, and these two I suspect the soil. I repotted these guys, or I would say these two as in the next two. So this is the first one of two. This is a just a crystallinum, Anthurium crystallinum, and it's looking so bad. Here's an insider, like, I don't know, insider thing about me. I have not been so great with anthuriums. Actually, I have a really great Anthurium pedictoradiatum, which is doing fantastic. And that guy right there with the little like ups, that's an Anthurium, I think it's an arrow or something like that. That one's doing great. But like these ones, the velvety or even just veiny Anthuriums, I don't know what it is. We haven't gotten along so great. So this is the second crystallinum I've ever had, which is obviously on the decline right now. At first it was doing pretty okay. Then I repotted it into, this is a mostly peat mix, and I tried to give it a net pot to give it the air that the anthuriums like on their roots. But today what I'm gonna do, the peat mix does have some, what's it called? Pumice stones in it. But today what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put it in a more barky mix. I got finally a re-up on my orchid bark. So we're gonna do probably maybe an orchid and peat type of mixture, or maybe just more orchid bark. I'm not sure. Comment below, let me know, because originally I had this in sphagnum moss. Maybe it was sphagnum and some type of like pumice or something like that, which I guess was okay for a while, but I don't know. I've been switching these guys around. I haven't found in my own personal experience what type of substrate works great for these types of anthuriums yet. So I've been experimenting. We're going to try and catch this one before it fizzles all the way out. And if it does so happen to fizzle all the way out, even though I love the way anthuriums look, I don't know if I can do it again. We'll see. All right. And then another anthurium I have that we're going to repot. It's similar to that one, and it is, you might have seen this one on my Instagram. It's been doing a slow decline as well. I don't know what to say. This one could have been a little bit of lighting situation, but then I also repotted it again. It's in a similar situation. It's got holes in the pots. We'll take a look at the roots. This is more peat than anything else, so I know that that's a little bit too much of a dense mix, and I fear the roots aren't getting enough air. Even though it has a hole, like a holy pot, it just doesn't have the air flow. So we're gonna repot this one. Yeah, it's not looking really great, I know, but we're gonna just say a hope and a prayer and try to get it to thrive again. Those are the funnest projects and most rewarding, of course, when they do come back in your collection. Here's another one that was doing kind of good for a while. I mean, it grows really slow, but yeah, it kind of started to turn a little bit, and like all the leaves down here came off. It's in moss and it looks gross. I know, I admit it. And then there's like, so I put drainage holes in this like takeout container, and then this container down here had water in it. It was kind of like a reservoir. Ew, that is gross. That's disgusting. So we're gonna clean that up and do something, repot it. Ew, it stinks too. I might even give it like a pole or something. We do have some really cool, exciting new growth on it. So like definitely for this one, all hope is not over. I don't know if you can see, probably it's kind of like on my side more so. Let me set it down and turn it round. Oh wow, there's lots of them. So right here is like a new growth point. Right here is a little growth point. Like every node, there's one right there. There's one up here. So this one is really promising. It's got a lot of growth, and it's got a lot of nice little aerial roots coming off too that don't seem like they're totally dried out. So, and we've got some new growth down here at the bottom as well. So this one's definitely, this one's gonna do great, just great. It's gonna be just fine. We just gotta give it a new situation. And lastly, I want to put, we're going to do two other things. So we'll try and do some of these real fast. This one's just a repot. I've sold this. It's a black pagoda lipstick plant. They are super easy to propagate. Let me know if you want me to propagate one and you'd like to purchase one from me. But I'm just going to transfer this over into a plastic pot out of this terracotta, getting it ready to ship. I want to do that in advance of actually shipping it, so that it's not going to experience too much shock. It is a holiday weekend right now, so I want to give it time to acclimate into the pot, the plastic pot, before I ship it out. And then lastly, for my own personal collection and pleasure, my Monstera Siltobacana. This bad boy is doing fantastic. I received it as a little cutting. It's got nice little aerial roots developing here and here. So, and of course, you know, all Monsteras love to climb, right? So we're going to give this bad boy a little moss pole. Oh yeah, that's going to be so cool. It's going to love its new home, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So that's the overview, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants in total. The pothos, maybe, maybe not. We'll see if we get to it. And yeah, that's it. So let's get going. Let's get rocking and rolling. I have to be 100% real with you. Like, I don't really have the total game plan figured out in my head as to how all this stuff is going to be done. I just know that those are the things that I want to do. So we're going to figure it out as we go. I did, like I said, got re-up. This is a little mixture that I've been using. It's not sponsored, but I really have loved this mixture. It does have more than just orchid bark in it. It has charcoal. It has coarse perlite. It's a really beautiful mixture. It's kind of like you have to buy fewer items when you buy it kind of like pre-mixed. So really happy to get this. I think for the Monstera, what we're going to do is we'll do probably the base and the pole will be this, because I don't think I have that much sphagnum moss. I'll see if I can put like a little bit of sphagnum moss throughout it, but I'm definitely low on sphagnum moss. Probably at the point where I'm recycling sphagnum moss, so which that's okay. I'm not against that. I usually do that. I think I've only like sanitized my sphagnum moss like once, maybe like boiled it and stuff like that. So you know, that's how I roll. And actually, I do think that that could possibly be... Nah, I was gonna say I thought it could be the issue for some of my plants, but actually none of them have recycled sphagnum moss. I don't think so. I think we're okay there. So here's the other thing that's been going on with my water. I use rainwater, but I also use mosquito bits, and I also fertilize. And lately, my water has been getting kind of weird. Like, I think the mosquito bits, if I leave them in too long, like they start to like make the water burp, and I think they have bacteria, and it's like, I don't know, like growing and causing some kind of a weird cycle, and sometimes it gets smelly. So I'm gonna start to not put the mosquito bits in so much in advance and like much closer to the time I'm using it. I realize that they're supposed to be in for like 1 hour. I can't get this open. So yeah, I'll probably soak them for something like that, or the dunks. I don't know. Both. Oh yeah, but basically I'm just gonna revise that process a little bit because I think that's partly to blame. All right, here's this beautiful orchid bark. Kind of hard to show you without spilling. I might. You can see a little bit of the pumice in there. I mean, I probably don't have the perfect sampling in here, but you can see some of the charcoal. Okay, so that is what we're gonna put this monstera in right now. It is in no drainage, semi-hydro. It's basic pond. I love the basic pond. I got the basic pond off of Amazon. It's cheaper than like the regular full-blown pond, which I believe the only difference is that the basic pond doesn't have the slow release fertilizer. It just has the rocks. So, yeah, I'm reaching for this big container so that, I have stuff and everything. Okay, so I'm reaching for this so that I can dump out the monstera. But of course we got like 3 pots in there. Okay, cool. This is good. There's some sphagnum moss in there. And like I said, I wanted to kind of mix, I'll mix this part with some of that moss. So that'll be good. I think for now I'm gonna dump it out so that, here's another container. I'll just put this in here. Okay. We're dumping that out because we wanna get, okay, let's put that out there too. We're gonna get this poured out. Oh, let me let you see better. There we go. Okay, so we're just getting, I'm gonna take this little stake out. Oh. Okay, so we're pouring this into this container here. And I want to try and move kind of quickly so that the video won't be super duper long. All right, how's that sound to you guys? All right, so this looks like it's actually kind of like 2 plants, which is really awesome. As I mentioned before, I got this as a really small cutting. It's grown quite a bit actually, and it's still kind of small, but I love just how this plant is growing. Ooh, feels like it could even be maybe a little root bound or something down here. It's kind of hard to get out. I don't know why. It's like very challenging, and it's not. Oh, I have a cool little shovel over here. Let's give this a try. It's my first time using it, but this might help. Ah! Okay. That sucks. I mean, I can put it back together, but it probably is just gonna fall apart again. I can't remember what I got this with. I got it with something that I bought. Okay, it's not gonna work. It keeps coming out. So we'll go back to our plan A. And maybe I can just pull. Yeah, oh my gosh, look at that. That was much easier. Okay, so here's our empty vessel. That's great. This was actually a mixture of pond and fluval stratum. I always do that because I like the stratum because like they're supposed to have nutrients and stuff in it. And like I said, the pond doesn't have, the basic pond doesn't have the slow release fertilizer, so I don't see any harm in doing it that way. And I think that the plants like it. Okie dokie, so I'm gonna just take, this is the orchid bark that I had in my hand earlier. I'm putting it in the base there, and it actually might, there's not a lot of room in here because I don't expect it to have a lot of roots, so we'll just probably just put this in there. And I think I'm gonna have to put that orchid bark in the middle of the hole because it doesn't seem like there's enough room for like the orchid bark plus the root system. Big chunky orchid bark. Now I might be able to instead, when I go to backfill it, I think what I can do is use my orchiata, which is really small, fine orchid bark. Okay, so let me move this out of the way for now. And I am going to, once again, I think I'm gonna put this over here. Kind of shove these roots down in here. Okay, I actually think that's pretty good. Yeah. All right, and then I'm hoping that we'll go inside of the pole because there's really no space at all for them down here. Okay, so next we're gonna put the orchid bark in here, and I'm going to, this is not, it should be moist, but I'm gonna improvise. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mix together the orchid bark and the moss as dry material. So we're gonna put that inside of here. Okay, just gotta have some room to spread it out. Can we tilt you? And then it should be fine. All right, well, this is what it's gonna look like here. Let's get this orchid bark up in here. Ooh, see, now you can see that lovely mixture. Isn't that nice? It's lovely, lovely. I actually do have a little bit more sphagnum moss that's, I think it's wet. Over here. Planty land. Oh, it's not wet, but we do have more moss, yay. Okie dokie. Oops. So we're just gonna toss this around like a little salad. Let me see, can you see? See, we're just tossing it around. A nice little bark and moss salad, and then we're gonna just stuff it into this hole, and maybe we'll just alternate. We'll put the moss, the bark at the bottom for that awesome, wonderful, great drainage. Okay. This is my first bark pole. All my other poles are like handmade, homemade moss poles. Oh, you can see one right there. Wait, what is this pole? Is it this one? No. Okay, yeah, it's the one with my Campo Sporto Anam on it, which has an extension on it, and I need to do a chop and extend on it right now because like it's going crazy up here. It's split off into 2 vines. It's got a second shoot, plus it's like a little one at the bottom. It's just going crazy. Okay, let's put some more moss in here. Yeah, I like the layering of this because what the moss will do, obviously, will soak up the water kind of like in the middle and slow release it down to the lower layers. I haven't done this before, but as I'm doing it and thinking through the process, I think it's going to be a pretty cool, like, technology. All right, I'm stuffing this down a little bit because there are tons of air pockets in here. Not to say that air pockets are bad, but I want to make sure that the roots have ample surface that they're touching and can climb up. This is a big, huge stick in there, and I don't think I want it in there. All right, so just making sure that there aren't too many, it's not too loose. Because the looser it is, obviously, the more it's going to dry out as well if it has too much airflow. So. Okay, so that should be good for now. If I need to add more stuff, then I can, but this should be great. I cannot wait for this monstera to start climbing on its pole. Yeah, it's like 2 cuttings, so I'm going to go ahead and put one on the far left, and I'm actually trying to hook this root in here because it looks, see, there it is, perfect. There was actually a root that was like this, kind of like a hook, and I just hooked it around the little backside to one of these little hexagons, and I think that that's gonna stay. I might be able to, yeah, get the lower ones to kind of like touch the pole a little bit better. And then this other one, oh, it's actually 3 cuttings, 3 plants, cool. So I might use some rope. I do have one clip somewhere near here. I mean, I have some big clips, but the big clips aren't gonna do the trick right now. So let's use some rope for now. Oh my gosh, it's already been 24 minutes in this video, and we're only on plant number 1. This is crazy. All right. Maybe the editing will try to pare this down a little bit. Okay, lovely. So as you can see, you can always use whatever you have available to you, and that's what I've been doing. I've been growing my plants for maybe like 2 years or something like that now, and I have a lot of supplies that I use and a lot that I don't use, a lot that I run out of. So what I'm trying to do now is really use what I have and make it work, rather than always buying more supplies, because it is an expensive hobby and habit. So here we go. Then we have more money for plants, right? I know that's right. Okay. All right, let's get this. This bad boy is, I love it. This bad boy is nice and flat up to the pole. But the roots are a little bit at an angle, like going out to the side rather than directly back. So hopefully, I'm hoping that it'll orient itself, turn itself all the way. I think it should. I think it'll be okay. See how it's kind of like, yeah, it's like facing this way instead of I could possibly mash it a little bit more. Let's see. Here is plant number 1, guys. Isn't it lovely? Isn't she lovely? She will definitely be a little bit more straight, okay, towards the end of the video, and definitely by the next time you see her. So plant number 1, Stanleyana baby. All right, so we're gonna set her off to the side. Plant number 2, let's get to this Magnificum. So we're just gonna dump it out, take a look at the roots. I think they're kind of dark rather than white, like the anthuriums often are. Look at this stick, it's so black. I don't know, is it rot? I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Look how, oh my gosh, this peat is so densely packed in here. No wonder. I swear I tried to aerate it. I swear I put all these little pumice stones in here. I guess it just wasn't enough. Okay, here comes the plant. Here comes the root ball. Yeah, there it is. And then it's like nice and moist down here, but it is really dense. So, not the best look. Okay, see? Told y'all. Look at that. Oh! Oh! Look at that. We've got lots of pumice. It's like all rocky right up in here. And then there's leca too. I don't know if you can see that leca. Yeah, you can see those lecas. Now, the roots though. What is going on with these roots? Roots, baby, roots. We'll pause this right here. Okay, so I do see some signs of root rot. I just pulled off a ugly little black root, but it's not too bad. It's not terrible. I do see a lot of white roots like that there. Is this a root? Yeah, I think this is a root. So this is like a bad root. So yeah, I just kind of have to disturb the roots a little bit because it's really clung on to these stones. I guess it really liked that. And really, it seems like the peat was really at the bottom and the top. So actually, there's a lot of sphagnum moss in here too. That's what it came from when I got it from Equigenera. That's what it came in. Definitely the roots that are clung onto the pumice stones and the leca seem like they are the happier roots. The root system is kind of small, it seems like. And it's kind of hard to get it off of this stuff that it's attached to. And yeah, it just seems like maybe in the middle too, there wasn't that much aeration. So yeah, we're gonna try and revive this guy. Hopefully it can take the shock of the transplant and me messing all around in its roots. I'm hoping that this aeration will give it, you know, new breath of life, basically. Okay. We got a big, nice opening here. So here's an example of like a root that I might want to trim. Is it kind of mushy? Yeah, it's kind of mushy at the bottom. So I'll trim that up. Oh, but it looks really nice towards the top. Yeah, I don't think I can show you that. I'm not even gonna try. All right, got the Leica ball out. Yeah, I think once I put some orchid bark in here, I can't, oh, there we go. Get this moss out. What's this? It's this moss, dude. I think, so I repotted it because it was having a problem, and I just basically didn't go through and do all of this, and I think that this moss still being in here is basically what caused it to have the issue. Ew, some of these do look pretty gross. I think I'm just gonna pull this whole thing off. Sorry. So I know anthurium should have fat, juicy white roots, and it seems like some of the secondary and maybe tertiary roots are like white and like stringy. So I'm wondering if those had already kind of like rotted off and stuff. And it's just the leftover from a rotted root situation. It's hard to tell. You can see that there's like kind of like stringy, there we go, like stringy mess in here. And I was gonna say it's kind of like hard to tell if it's like this moss. Okay, look, this is a perfect example. Yes, roots are bad. We've got this beautiful root that is, it starts off white right there. I don't know if you can tell, but then it kind of goes brown and there's a little fungus gnat. Yeah, so that's bad. I think this guy would actually like it. Is the hydro. And I'm trying to think if I've done that with any of my anthuriums before. Not having that right now, but I do have pollen. I would love to put in hydro so that it can stay hydrated. But I don't have a lot of aeration that it would enjoy the most. I think that would be ideal. Like, I really would love to put this in like a, I am totally stressing these roots. I really hope this baby can come back. Although I've heard, now this one had many more leaves. And so what I've heard about anthuriums is that when you cut back their leaves, you know, if it's like not doing so great and everything, you cut back on the leaves and stuff, it will immediately push out growth to a new leaf or shoot because, you know, it's got a lot of stored up energy. Oh yes, baby, this root is rotted in the middle, right here. Not looking so hot. Ooh, we've got more of the same situation right here. This blackety black one right there. What else? More of it here. Yeah, these roots are awful. Anthurium roots should not look like this at all. So we'll have to trim it. I'm still getting the hang of like what roots should look like because most of the time we see the top of the plant. But we will see also in this crystallinum that I take out, I'm probably sure we'll see another situation similar to this. And so we'll have two cases of roots up close and personal. So you can see what they look like also. The root thing, the root game is not, I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. It is not easy, baby. And it's not easy getting this sphagnum moss off of here. I know this plant is gonna be so stressed out. I pray that it has a smooth recovery. I am so sorry, baby. So sorry. Oops. But I know it really needs the air to the roots, so that's why I'm just kind of keep on going. But I think we can make us a good recovery on this one. A good recovery. Now that we finally dug it up and really got in here, looked at the roots, we're gonna trim them back. I'm so sorry. All right, this is good, this is good, this is good. This is good. I think I've got most of the sphagnum out. We got mostly roots here. Yes. Okay. Now, for this part here, since we're already dealing with a ride situation, we definitely want to make sure we use sanitized shears for this root restoration trim. Of course, I pull off the roots, so I don't think that's really good. I think it's gonna get more stress. So, yeah, I'm gonna grab some alcohol and sanitize my shears or scissors, whatever I'm using. All right, so this is what we're working with right now. And you'll notice we got some like back roots in here like this. Like this, but it's not mushy, so I'm gonna keep that one probably. But like all these little hair-like stream-like things here, we're gonna get rid of those. So we're gonna back. All right, let me grab my alcohol. And I'm gonna grab my shears also. I know there's here, but still but we're gonna grab them. There we go. I think that's more detangling the roots as well. And there we go. Here, I'll do it now. All right, and this nice, properly sized pot. It might have been a little bit larger pot. It's okay, size pot for it, but reverse it down a little bit. Okay, hang on one second, right after that. Okay, we're back. We've got the shears. We've got the alcohol. I also have like another alcohol that has like just like a little tiny little hole. You can like turn over and like kind of drip it out like a drop or squirt it. This one is just the whole shebang, the whole open hole. So we're just gonna pour this, and I have the paper towel to kind of catch the excess. And then we just wipe it down like so, you know. Sanitize it on up. Alrighty. So here is our root ball mess. Let us get up in here. I'm not really gonna talk through this. I'm just gonna snip, and you'll see what we wind up with for our final product. Any broken roots, I'm going to snip also like above the break, because that is a place where the roots can get infected. In terms of snapping a root in half, I don't know about if it will get infection or not. I think what I'm gonna do is leave it out, exposed to the air for maybe like an hour, just like how when we make our cuts for propagation, and allow it to callus over a little bit first before I go ahead and pot this bad boy back up. Sounds like a good idea to me. Sounds legit. Okay, we need fingers here. Figure out. I guess that's okay. So I was just trying to figure out if it was soft and mushy in that brown area. Okay, I think that is going to do it for the root trim. We will probably sit this in hydrogen peroxide for, I don't know, 24 hours or something like that. Hydrogen peroxide and water. Hopefully I have enough hydrogen peroxide to make the ratio, you know, correct. But yeah, these roots look a lot better, I think. Some slight browning, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I think this will come back. I think this is gonna be a good one to watch. So we'll stick it here for now and move on to the next one. We'll switch it up a bit. Let's do the alocasia, and then maybe, actually let's do this really quick repot first, and then we'll do the alocasia. So we have a really quick repot. Actually, let's sanitize our shears again, because we know for sure we had root rot on that one. We don't want to spread that bacteria to any other plants. So we'll go ahead and sanitize these up. Alrighty, so we're gonna switch this one out. We're just gonna give it a plastic pot because it's going to be shipping. So, I mean, I could use the back end, but I won't do that because I don't want my client, my customer, to have any problems with their merchandise. So let us use, we're gonna sanitize the shovel. We're gonna use the shovel to get that plant out of there. I could like super glue this in here, and eventually I will, most likely. But for now, we're just gonna put that back on there. Okay, it's nice and sanitized. Wait. I actually would like to have a larger area to kind of dump this into. So I'm gonna use it. Okay, we're gonna use the drip pan here. Use my little shovel. Get this little baby out of here. I watered it not too long ago. And it's in quite a chunky mix. So I guess we'll go ahead and give it that again in the pot. Wow, we had everything in here. I told you guys I like to root in Fugel stratum. So this one had like maybe zeolite and Fugel and cocoa coir chips and a little bit of sphagnum moss. We're gonna kind of keep it like that. Yep, just transfer it right on over. I'll go ahead and put the same leca back into the top of it and bark that fell out. And we can add a little bit of orchid bark, I think, to top it off with. And the new owner can change it out to whatever they like. But apparently this one does seem to like a chunky mix, which is all right by me. Okay, so for this one, I'm probably going to have to tape it down a little bit so the stuff doesn't fly all out. But they got a really good deal on this one. It grows pretty fast. Again, like I said, I can take a cutting of this. I have a huge mother plant back there. So let me know. Alrighty, cool. So that guy is done. We will secure it, tape it down, and then just package it really nicely. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3 plants down. Let's get on this alocasia. Oh, the roots on this are terrible. Actually, they're not that terrible, but they're not that big, and I've got it in this huge pot, so that's a problem. Definitely need to downsize on the pot for this. What do you call it? Down pot? Yeah. Okay, the roots aren't that bad. It's like, I think it's just the pot size. And it seems like the root ball on the inside is pretty dry. Whereas, yeah, this part was kind of moist. I can see how we could definitely have a problem with the moisture levels. Oh my gosh, does it have a plug? It might have a plug, you guys. Maybe that is the reason for all the drama. I don't know what's going on here, but I have like a little small, see this part? It's like sticking together. I mean, it doesn't seem to be, I can't feel anything on the outside of it, but why is it stuck together like this? It seems like plug behavior. I'm squishing it. I don't know what is up with it, but we're gonna just basically loosen up the roots, let them fly free. This is definitely like a little peat ball down here. I don't know what's behind all this, but I'm softening up that peat, breaking it away. Surprisingly, no corms, but I guess it's not doing that great, so okay, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, this is really kind of weird, but it does have some new growth right here. So I think this guy will bounce back too. We just have to put it in an appropriate size pot. The roots are nice and long. I wonder if I should trim them. They don't seem to be rotted anywhere. Look at this crazy, ridiculously long root. Wow. But again, all of this can probably fit into a 4-inch pot versus a big 6-inch pot. So that's what I'm gonna go for. Let me grab one. Okay, we're back. Here's the alocasia. It's just lying there on its side right now. I brought back some goodies aside from a pot. I got this bone meal stuff, although I'm still kind of testing it out. Someone on Instagram told me they use it and their plants grow a lot bigger and huger because of it. I've used it and I think it has sized up like my peperomia, and that one definitely did have issues with, I guess, shortage of calcium, and sometimes they grow out kind of like crinkled and like crunchy looking. So I think it definitely helped that. And then I think I put it in my, I might have put it in my, yeah, Passiflora trifasciata, which looks okay. It doesn't look that much different. That one has always grown really big for me. Well, it might have actually sized it up a little bit, but I've also noticed, like, if you put it on the top, it definitely completely grows mold. So you got to get this like into the soil mixture. And to be honest, I have just eyeballed and put in as much as I wanted to put in. I've never really used the directions on it, but let's check out the directions really quickly. It says apply 1 cup for every 20 square feet. That's in your vegetable garden. Pod plants, sprinkle 1 to 1.5 tablespoons per container and gently mix into the top layer of soil. All right, well, we have a teaspoon here. We'll probably do about 2 teaspoons. And yeah, that's gonna be it. And I don't actually recommend it being in the top layer because, again, like I said, I've experienced a lot of mold growth from it, but maybe it's just I didn't have enough airflow circulation. Who knows? We shall see. So I am gonna put some in, and then this is the long roots. I probably might trim this roots a little bit because I don't know. What do we think about this size pot? It covers like the whole stump, and I could trim the roots like up to here. I think that will be okay, or even here. And then, or we could do, let's see, this is the next size up. I think one is a 4-inch pot, one might be a 5-inch pot. The 5-inch might be a little bit more appropriate. So let's do the 5-inch. I am gonna trim the roots back a little bit, and then after I do that, I am gonna take off these yellowing leaves. Hoping that new growth will come from there, and that because like of the, what's it called, transpiration whole thing, like the fewer leaves you have, it's better. I don't know, when they have to grow new growth and stuff like that. I'm not an expert on it, but I just know that they need like a smaller amount of leaves when you are trying to grow new growth or something like that. Okay, so here we go. This is a good sized pot. This is perfect actually. And what we're going to do is, okay, I do have a little bit of mix that I'm going to recycle, but it's not from the alocasia. I mean, I might recycle some of its soil maybe, but I have some other chunky mix right over here off camera. I'm gonna put that in first, and then we're gonna put the alocasia in, and you'll see right back in a flash. Okay, here's that chunky mix I was talking about. It was just right off camera. It fell out of my Monstera, like off the top dressing, so I was just gonna reuse that. And like, this might be a lot at the bottom for this plant, because as you saw, it's kind of filling up the container with the roots before we put anything in. So I'm just gonna have a very small layer at the bottom. There we go. We got the plant down in here. Now we're gonna backfill it. I'm gonna twist it a little bit just so that we don't bend and break the roots. So there's the backfill. And okay, what shall we? I am gonna recycle the alocasia mix because I don't think it was that bad. We didn't really see any root rot. So it's a nice chunky, airy, like it does have some soil in it, but it has a lot of pumice in it. It has orchid bark in it. It's a nice mix actually. So I'm just reusing it. Like I said, this one we didn't see any root rot in here. I'm wondering if the yellowing is just like the root situation. It was too big of a pot. We're doing weird stuff with the watering, like, you know, parts of the soil would dry, parts of it would remain wet. I'm gonna have to guess and say that that was the issue, but we'll find out. Again, this one also looks pretty promising. I just think the pot was too big. We're gonna remove this leaf. So I guess, I think I will snip it maybe. Let's see if how it feels to like actually pull it, because a lot of times I just pull them off. But this one, yeah, oh, that was easy. Okay, so we just pulled it off instead. There, and that looks decent. We're gonna get rid of this guy. Say bye-bye. And yeah, so this little guy here, I would pull it off. It does have like a little shoot coming up next to it, but we're gonna try and see if that'll develop a little bit more first. See what happens. Okay, press it down, water it in. I'm going to put this little dish, there we go, there, and I've got some nice fertilizer water in here. And I should mention, I talked earlier about how my water might have been part of the problem. We'll find out. So I recently ran out of, first I was using the Dynagrow Foliage Pro, which I really liked. Never had any issues with it, never burned my plants, 100% all good. At the same time I bought that, I had bought another one that was for hydroponics, and I don't remember the name of it, but I'll put an image of it on the screen. And I ran out of that recently as well. And prior to that, I had bought, of course, the all famous Miracle Grow, and I had also bought this other one that was just like one at the hardware store with like, I don't know, I think it had like copper in it because it's blue. And look how cute. That's so cute. All right, so that's 4 plants down. So I never finished using that hardware store one. So now I'm using that one, and it's synthetic, and it has like, the numbers are like off the chain. They're like 24, 8, 10, or 13 or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, the NPK concentration values are super high. And so I do not use it to the complete, you know, recipe recommended amount. I use less than what is recommended. And hopefully, I don't think it's burning anything. But like, that's one of the other variables that like was a change in my plants as of late. So, you know, that could be also responsible for everything. We're hoping it's not. And we're just letting it keep on go with the flow. All right, so the remaining plant, let's see, I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4. Here's 5. Oh yeah, and 6 is the crystallinum. So let's do this one. I have this pot here, which seems like it'll be a nice size, hopefully, for it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna pour this one out. Okay, I need one of these little trays again. That soil is kind of okay. All right, we'll use the bottom tray on here. I might use this soil for it. This is the alocasia soil. So there's my little watering tray. This is my gross little situation here. I do not want to touch those and see if they're rotted. I mean, I would hope they wouldn't be. They grew down into the water. They're supposed to be water roots. Yikes. We're gonna snip this guy. We're just gonna snip these guys. We're not dealing with this. Snip, snip. Gross. All right, put that back. And yeah, I didn't water this one before doing this stuff because I don't know, it was already a gross situation. And I kind of at the last minute decided to do this. Now the sphagnum moss is here on top because of course I wanted it to grow new growth points. And I do see some maybe root rot, some rotting situation. But yeah, I put the moss up on top because this was actually a really long vine and kind of like wrapped it around and wanted some new roots to grow and new growth points to grow. And it looks like that was kind of successful. I've got some new growth points coming on. The rotting situations that I was seeing is kind of like, maybe, is it rotting? I don't know. It's kind of close to the vine itself. It seems like it might be. Well, let's look at it further before I speak on it because I'm not sure. It did some weird stuff, guys, but yeah, like, so this is the primary root system right there. We've got this long vine. Oh, this is detached. Okay. This is kind of like the bad vine, so we probably will not try to salvage anything here. All of the growth points and root points are kind of black. So this one has the new growth here at the bottom and the great aerial roots. I think this one's probably pretty good. We'll take a little bit closer look at the roots here. I do see some blackness and some broken root, like right here. And I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, ooh, look at that beautiful Arabian sunset. Yes, isn't she pretty? It's a begonia. We'll see over there looking all colorful and pretty. We have my micans right there in the window with highlight back there. So yeah, with the highlight, it's pretty red. And then we've got also a string of hearts, variegated string of hearts. It's not really like too bright color popping, but you know, looks nice. Let's see, where is it? This one looks nice. What is it? I think think that's my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma over there. Oh, wait, or is that my Monstera? I can't tell. Yeah, it looks like that's my Monstera right there. The Rhaphidophora is off camera somewhere. Anyhow, it's like golden hour right now. I think these look pretty much okay. We're gonna dump this back into a pot, a proper pot. And we'll water it with hydrogen peroxide and water mixture and oh, we're gonna get rid of this one though. This is ugly. All right, so yeah, I think that should be good. I'm not sure though. Okay, I don't know if like I should chop it, and I probably should chop it and prop. Totally. I think I'm gonna chop it right here. Yep, because it's got so much naked vine in the middle. Can't really put it on a pole with all of the naked vine because it's gonna take up too much vertical space. So we'll propagate this. And I think I'll get rid of this ugly leaf in the process because it's so much black on the outside. Got another one that's got a lot of black on the outside, but I could probably just trim that back. I mean, I'm guessing it's because it's, you know, the variegated white parts. Although I haven't seen these do that much on other people's plants, but since I've seen it on other plants, other types of plants, we're gonna make that assumption. So this is a cute little propagation. We'll stick it in here for now. It has no water in it at the moment. We'll pot this guy up. What kind of soil? I'm not gonna reuse its own soil. I think it had like a little bit of rot bacteria type of situation going on in there. We'll get rid of some of these excess roots and organic material. And this is the alocasia soil that was not, that we saw no evidence of rot in it, and we're gonna recycle it. I'll go ahead and put this in first, probably. Okay, just removing any extra leaves that I see in there. That looks pretty good. I think we can get this like this here. Yep, that looks good. We'll backfill it a bit. I actually do have, I'm afraid to use this peat, y'all. Oh my gosh. It kind of like decimated my collection. All right, so that little crystallinum is the last one after this. I don't know if I want to use, you know what I'm gonna use again. I like to recycle, you guys. You're gonna learn this about me if you haven't learned it by now. And in today's video, well, this one is not recycled. This is pumice. It's just rinsed pumice. This is recycled though. This is pumice and what do you call it? That stuff. What's that stuff called? You know what stuff I'm talking about. The black stuff, fluval stratum, and a little bit of the other stuff. Pon. And I should mix it all together to make it like a uniform type of substrate. But chances are I might not. I want to put a little bit, I'm gonna top this off with my small orchiata. I really like this stuff. This is great for Hoyas. I don't know why I'm giving this pothos my premium substrate, but it is what it is, guys. I don't feel like fooling with peat or soil right now. So we're topping it off with our nice, lovely, very small chip orchid bark. It's orchiata. And I really like this stuff a lot. Ooh, look how nice. And it smells good too. It's like clean. It's not the huge chunks. I think it's still very breathable. And so since we've got like these little new growth points and stuff coming up, I just want to be able to make sure that they're able to come up nice and easy, and that the vines in there can also reach the moist like base, the soil or the ground or whatever. So that's how that's going to be, like that. And it looks really good. I'm gonna water this guy. I know it's not the most attractive thing right now with this just like one little vine coming out, but I really think this one's gonna do well too. I think it's gonna come back. Like, I think I mentioned that I was gonna do some hydrogen peroxide and water. I'll go ahead and I will do the hydrogen peroxide treatment at maybe the next watering, because I just wanted to water this in and I don't have that hydrogen peroxide treatment here with me. I'm just dumping off the excess water. And I think this one's good to go. Okay, so last but not least, oh boy, let's get this thing done and get out of here. All right, we love plants, but we got other stuff going on too. All right, so here is my little chrysalina. All right, this is the second one I've had. She ain't doing so hot. We are messing up on my anthurium babies. So we're gonna try and fix that right now. Okay, wow. So we had a small, very small root ball, big pot, lots of substrate at the bottom still, very wet, very dense. Again, this is the cocoa peat. I do have chunks in here. I have chunks of pumice, orchid bark, but yeah, this root ball is super small, so we're gonna give it a much smaller pot. I guess maybe the roots have rotted off, I don't know, but yeah, it's not looking so hot. We do see some green roots in here. They look fabulous, fantastic, yes, beautiful. But we also see that hairy situation that we had with the Magnificum earlier as well, like just these little hair-like roots. So those aren't good. I think that's evidence of root rot. We're going to go ahead and see if we can trim it back. We'll probably just pinch it back like manually with our hands and give it a much chunkier mix. So that is the plan, the game plan for this guy right here. Any place where we find a broken root, we're gonna just pluck that baby off, because the broken roots are not going to heal themselves in the spaces where they're broken. They're just gonna basically, I don't know, they're just probably gonna end up rotting or something. So here's a really bad one. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Yep, that's another one. It's a little bit mushy there. Good thing is they don't smell. So another telltale sign of root rot is like a sulfur, stinky smell. So mine, I don't know if they're, I don't know if it's like the classic case of root rot or what, but the roots aren't doing so well for sure. So we're just trimming them back, letting them regrow roots. I'm hoping that they'll regrow just fine. I do have some rooting hormone powder, but that stuff to me This never really seemed like it worked all that well. I have the one with the purple lid, the white little jar with the purple lid. What have your results been with that? Have you guys, do you think it works pretty good? Am I doing it wrong? Sprinkle it, I usually like sprinkle it on the roots. I might do that for this one. I'll probably go get it. Oh, I forgot to use my bone meal in the other ones, whoops. Yee. Yeah, this is a bad situation right here. Not a lot of roots. So that makes sense why the plant died back so much, because the roots were dying back so much. And I gotta make sure I don't have some stem rot up in here. I might. Yeah, this guy also, I think, will let it sit in some hydrogen peroxide. It kind of does seem like it might be a little bit of stem rot. I might have to cut off a little bit of the stem here. Okay, so I trimmed a little bit of the stem. Let me show you where it is. A little stem chunk. That's not it. Here it is. So this little nub of stem, I trimmed it off. It just seemed like below that it's a little bit mushy right here where my ring finger is. So we're gonna try and salvage it and stop the spread. We're gonna soak it in the hydrogen peroxide with the Magnificum and hope for the best. So yeah, that's gonna be it, I guess, for this video. Just use your imagination. These two guys are gonna go soaking and we'll pot them up tomorrow. Maybe I'll go ahead and amend this video and add that on. But yeah, for now, thanks guys, thanks for watching. I had a really fun time with you all on film today. I hope you are able to stop back for the next one and see these babies grow. I have yet to give an update from my January plans I'm looking forward to growing in 2023. So that video is coming out very shortly. We've got some surprising great news and some upsets and all kinds of great stuff in that video. So, okay, here's a little bonus footage. We've got the crystallinum and magnificum in the hydrogen peroxide. You can probably hear the sizzling. You can probably see the bubbles a little bit. So that sounds good. And then we got also the Enjoy Pothos in water for our propagation. All right, just wanted to give those updates and we're back. Hey everybody, it is a new day and it's actually, we're running out of the day. The sun is setting. I did want to just get back on here to plant these and bury them up. So they have been soaking in the hydrogen peroxide and water solution for 24 hours. Here's my crystallinum, which looks like boo, but it does have a couple of promising roots. So we're excited for that. We're gonna put this in this little 2-inch pot. Then we also have our, just a reminder for the recap, our Magnificum has a nice little set of roots here. We trimmed it back. We got rid of all the hair-like roots and anything that was brown. It's been also setting in the same hydrogen peroxide and water solution for about 24 hours, maybe a little bit more. So we're gonna go ahead and pot these up into some soil, you know what it is, the orchid bark mix. Here it is. Here we go. So we're gonna pop this up in that. You know, I don't know if I'm really gonna add any amendments right now. And we're just gonna keep them pretty much watered. So this guy, I do have in a net pot again. I don't think I'm going to put it in a reservoir. Maybe I could. I could probably put it in a reservoir with, it's it's going to be not just like touching the water. So I would put it in a reservoir with something like leca inside of the reservoir, and then it would just be barely touching, if at all, a little bit of layer of the water as the water is covering the leca. So we're getting this stuff down in here. We're just, okay. I don't know what's going on with my mic and my headphones. There's definitely some changes happening, so I apologize if it sounds any weird or kind of way or whatever, but we're just gonna roll with it and we're gonna adapt these changes as they happen, and that is okay by me. I hope it's okay by you too. Okay, so we're getting our chunky mix in here. We do have a lot of air right now. There's a lot of holes. I'm putting some on the side where there is a lot of, I'm putting some on the side where there's a lot of air and holes, and I'm just repeating myself just in case any of there was any gap in the coverage there by the microphone. All right, so this is good. I think this is going to be really good. The only thing with the anthuriums, you definitely want to make sure that you kind of like cover the neck of the stem really high up, because you can get new roots from there, and then that's how you can propagate your anthurium, is that you have a nice stem that kind of like, it's kind of like air layering. You get those roots. All right, so I think this is really good. Again, we're gonna have a reservoir container on the bottom. I'm not sure exactly what it's gonna look like yet. And then we're gonna put like maybe a little bit of leca in the reservoir container. We're gonna have a water layer so that when we water this, water will collect at the bottom. It'll come barely up to the bottom of this, and it'll keep it kind of like moist and humid. So boom, I think that's gonna be a great solution for our anthurium. This little guy here, yay. All right, we're gonna put the same chunky mix in. It's a really small container, so it won't be as much. And then I hope that we can even fit. Like, this chunk is huge, it doesn't fit. So we're gonna return that. All right, we got our little chunk inside. Now, gonna start piling on the bark. Keep that little feller down in there. Hopefully we can get some of the smaller chunks. All right, so this is good. It's going good. We're gonna get the other side to make it balanced. It was definitely leaning over to one side. I'm hoping this little guy will rebound and respawn. Really great. All right, I think this is good. I wonder how much water the bark actually retains. It's pretty high up, you can see. I need some small chunks to fill in, just small ones. And then we want to try our best to cover the roots at the top, because that's how we produce more roots. All right, so I know it looks like it's overflowing and everything, but I think this is going to be good. We'll water it in. We'll try and find a little reservoir container. Actually, matter of fact, hold up. That might be good. I think this will be good for it, because it'll keep the bottom side moist. We're gonna clean it out, of course. And then we can fill up the water level to where we want it to. Here is the bottom of the pot. And then this little guy should be good. This guy here, we have to find a container for it. I really liked how this is clear, so I can see where the reservoir level is in relationship to the pot container. This might be like a suitable, oh yeah, this is a suitable container. We won't fill it up this high, but it's okay right now because the substrate doesn't have any moisture in it. We just filled it up. So I think that for now, it's okay. And we're gonna swap this out anyway. This has the hydrogen peroxide water in it, actually. So it's good. It's a good sign. We're not hearing any bubbling and fizzing. So that is my amendment to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We've got dirty hands. That's good. It means we put in work. We did a great job. Oh, you guys like my t-shirt here? Black History. Remember, educate, That's right, baby. All day, every day. It is the month of July, and I'm remembering and educating. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much again for checking out my video, and give me a like, thumbs up, and a subscribe if you like this content and want to continue to see more. I love you guys. Mwah. Catch you in the next one. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit the notifications button so that you can be informed anytime I post a new video.